Alright folks, let's take a look at more wheel cancer for the game. But it's not a light tank, so hopefully people won't drive it straight towards enemy spawn point right off the bat, or right when the match starts. Hopefully. The GSOR, General Staff Operational Requirement 1010 FB, Premium Tier 8 British Wheeled Medium Tank. It's not a tank destroyer, not a light tank, has more firepower than the EBRs, with a larger profile, and more durability, more health, but that ass is pretty big. So it's a little bit bigger than a Lynx, but it is somewhat smaller than a Centurion, hopefully, but that ass is pretty huge. So none of the light tank shenanigans with camo keeping while moving, and none of the turbo mode with the middle wheel going up and down, so that's a plus. Larger caliber of a gun, 105 compared to the 75 on the EBR or the 90 on the Lynx, but I don't know if it's good for medium tank drivers. I think it should be classified as tank destroyers, but that's besides the point. Also, it kind of looks like the French AMX 10RC, the 𝗚𝗦𝗢𝗥, as the French would call it, but that's a space armor package, a little bit modern. That's a little bit better comparison. Doesn't have the protrusion for the driver hatch, and the turret is a little bit different, but close enough, right? Close enough. So, funny enough, with all these pictures, there are no actual reference points for scale comparison. There are only bushes and trees, so it's kind of hard to judge the actual scale of these vehicles. But it kind of looks like still a little bit wider and longer than a Lynx, just more powerful of a gun. It is slower, so that's a plus, but I don't know if these things are really toxic. I mean, still kind of annoying to deal with when you're driving a slow vehicle like super large heavy tanks, but then again, the penetration on these vehicles are not that great for now. Not really. So I took a liberty of this picture and scaled it to the actual Lynx. So take a memory recognition of this picture, and let's jump to the Lynx. And where's the map? It's fjords. There it is. The spare time I have. There you go. Close enough representation, I think. Close, very close. And they're running in like 1080p, so it's kind of hard to get to actual scale, but close enough. And they're running at like 1080p. Gross. The stairs in like somewhere there. I mean, it's a little bit bigger, but then again, the Lynx rear end is still kind of huge too. So, I mean, it's no ELC 𝗉𝗂𝘁𝗍𝗔. That is a small vehicle, so that's still a hittable target, so to speak. Hittable. But it is faster than a Centurion by like 5 km/h top speed. And we'll take a look at the stats right now to crap on it. But 105mm, 220mm of pen, which is bleh for a medium tank. I mean, the Alpha is okay, but Alpha is still a little bit below average compared to the 390, and penetration's average for a tier 8 medium tank. Gold shell 250, average for a medium tank as well. High explosive is disappointing, especially for the Brits with their Hesh. DPM is about 1800, not that great. Aim time is good enough. Accuracy is okay, not that good for sniping, but good enough. 8 degrees gun depression, 16 elevation, 50 rounds. Not bad for a small vehicle to carry 50. Crew of 3, no loader, so some of the better skills after the crew 2.0-ish of a update are belonging to the loader and radio operator, so that's kind of disappointing. You don't get the perks or specialty of the loaders. 60 km/h top speed, 30 reverse, about 24 horsepower per ton ratio. Now, I don't know if they're going to categorize it with a different category than actual medium tanks, but if they do, then this thing could not mount a turbocharger like with the EBRs. They cannot mount a turbocharger, so they have to go with something else like vents or something, or maybe the experimental equipment. But hull traverse 30, and turret traverse is 50. Turret traverse is quick. Has no health. Well, good enough health for a medium tank, but some of the heavier medium tanks have about 1400 or 1500 on the higher end, like with the Iron Arnie thing. The M47 improved has no armor. Ugh, of course it doesn't have armor. View range is alright, 390, could be better, but then again that's average. And radio is a little bit below average, but meh. AP, high explosive anti-tank. Oh no, not APCR and high explosive, so no high explosive anti-tank for higher pen. But the gun seems underperforming. I mean, the penetration mostly. Accuracy is okay, aim time's okay, DPM kinda sucks, but that's already going to the light tanks as well. Light tanks already have the pen and have the punch, but has no DPM, so same like with the light tanks. This is a medium, yada yada. Top speed is also a little bit underwhelming. Camo is 13.4% while stationary and 10 while moving. That is about the same as a Patton, or no, that's the same as a Sherman. A little bit like a Sherman EZ8. It's not great, so it's not like an Object 140 or Bat Chat for that matter, or Boresque. So you're not spotting unless you're super cated out with optics and other stuff for spotting. So unless you're dealing damage, most of the time you're not really spotting when I think about it. So it's not Boresque. Boresque has really good camo. So jumping to the Boresque, it is one of the most well played tier A premiums. But this thing has 22 without camouflage bonus, so already pretty good. And if you kit this thing out with camouflage and other stuff, then firepower is about the same, with about the same DPM, just not as good accuracy or aim time and penetration. But then again, it could perform like a scout, so that's the main reason when you play this thing. Oh, ugh. I mean, you already have a bunch of premium tier 8 medium tanks for the Brits as well. Not that good of a trainer for the tank destroyers though. I mean, the Centurion Mark V is pretty decent already. And FE for 202 is alright. It's not that bad, it's not that great. And nobody has the Chieftain T95 unless you get the Irish St. Patrick's Day boxes. 50 rounds. Shell velocity is questionable too. 920. I mean, unless you're spamming gold shell, then it is about the same shell velocity as the ship TVP 100, but it doesn't have the penetration like with that vehicle, right? It doesn't have that pen. Underwhelming. I mean, it's still okay of a vehicle, just, I mean, it's a different flavor of the same thing. There's no turbo mode, thank God, thank God. No turbo mode, no rapid mode, none of the BS there is. Weighs about 20-ish tons, so go ram this thing, but I wonder how much the Lynx weigh. Just curious. About 8 tons, okay. It all goes towards the ass and the turret, practically. Yeah, there's no rapid mode. Thank God. Sniper medium tank. There's no field modification showcase, so there might be different field mods compared to the actual medium tanks. The whole tank line starts at the Cruiser 4 from tier 5 all the way to tier 10, so a bunch of wheel vehicles that nobody asked for, but hey, whatever. I have nothing to grind. That's fine. It is a premium, yada yada. How the hell do I feel about this thing? Now, if it is an actual wheel vehicle following the same wheel vehicle rules as EBRs, then it cannot mount a turbocharger. It cannot mount a... Can it mount a... It can mount a rammer, but no turbocharger. Nope. and it is a medium tank, so following medium tank category, so you should use mobility as the first slot, and likely survivability or optics as the second slot, but yeah, no turbocharger. Can you mount the experimental stuff? You can't! Oh no! So no turbocharging a wheel vehicle. None of the little third one. Alright, fine, whatever. Okay. So basically for equipment on this thing, I still think rammer, obviously you're dealing damage, optics, and for the mobility slot, then oh, vents. Yeah, I mean, you don't really need vents, but then again, you don't really need improved rotation mechanism. Yeah, you don't need this. Yeah, probably vents if you want to take advantage of the first slot. Otherwise, crap. What the hell do you choose? Optics then. So it's rammer, optics, vents. That's the setup, right? Ugh. How much would I rate this thing? We cannot talk field modification because it's a whole different category. They may change it for something else, but crap. It has no penetration. That's what's lacking. If this thing has 250 baseline AP pen, not bad. Not bad as a sniper, right? And show velocity is slow too. It is not as fast, only 60 km/h top speed. Compare this to something else like I don't know, snipers, such as the ship TVP-100. That this thing has 270mm of pin. Granted, the alpha is not that high, but it has a decent high explosive round. The high explosive deals way more damage than it should, and also the shell velocity is about the same. Not for the high explosive anti-tank though. That's a little bit slower, but yeah, it's the same mobility too, about 60-ish km/h top speed. Reverse is a little bit slower, but horsepower per ton ratio is about the same on this thing compared to the car. Yeah, it's about the same horsepower per ton. So, I mean, the wheels will get you into trouble, right? So, it's not as consistent as tracks, and therefore, if you hit a building, it's hard to get out of with a 3-point turn. It turns into a 6-point turn to escape from entrapment with a bunch of buildings, but I would say, crap. It is my bias towards actual EBRs that is downgrading the score, but I like playing snipers. This is not really a sniper, right? I mean, Leopard 1 has better than average penetration, and better than average alphas, accuracy and aim time as well. DPM doesn't get a cut, it is just as fast. It's a whole new gimmick, so the plus thing about this vehicle is you can run away while having like 1 or 2 wheels blown out. So it's not like Detract where you have to sit there and take punches or take hits. So if you get hit, you can actually run away, just not as fast. So I would say, I mean, you know, idiots will drive these things straight towards the enemy spawn point right when the match starts. Like, people will drive like a headless chicken thinking this is like a EBR. It's not. It's not as fast. I don't know if it's as maneuverable at this point, but we'll have to see the actual terrain resistance. And it doesn't keep the camo, so you'll be spotted right away. With that penetration, with that freaking shell velocity, you might as well play with the Centurion Mark V, right? The 5.1 RAAC at this point. So might as well play with the Centurion. Get a Centurion for your crew training. And plus, you can also train your loader at that point. You have no loader to train. So might as well play with the Centurion, right? Play with the Centurion. You can actually train a loader. I would say 5.5 for the gimmick. It's hard to decide for this vehicle. I mean, it's mostly biased towards the EBRs, but 5.5. I mean, if it has better penetration, better shell velocity at this point, then maybe 6 plus, but there's nothing stand out. It doesn't have the camo, doesn't have the shell velocity, doesn't have the penetration. It has the health over something like a EBR, but that's not saying much, right? has 8 degrees of gun depression, which is also okay compared to Centurion's 10 degrees. And it's not like 30 or 40-ish horsepower per ton ratio, so I still say like a 5.5. Well, there you go, folks. The GSOR 1010 FB. Don't know what the hell FB stands for? Facebook. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
And if she asks you why, you can tell her that I told you that I'm tired of castles in the air. I've got a dream I want the world to share, and castle walls just lead me to despair.